Stephen, I hope that you do run for office one day when you're ready for it, because we need more people of integrity, people who are genuine, people who legitimately want to serve other people and not serve themselves, to hold public office at every level.
At the time, we didn't think that this country could become more polarized than it was in June of 2018. And I think in hindsight, that was a very naive thing for us to think, because we saw what happened on January 6th. And we saw what the dangers of polarization and extremism can be.
There are no Democrats or Republicans. Instead, there are two fictional parties. At Boys State, the boys alone decide what kind of political parties they want to form. They nominate representatives, choose their party platforms, and vote for their party candidates.
Boys State and Grow State are programs that take place every year for the past 80-something years in almost every state in the country. In my case, in 2018, 1,000 teenage boys gathered in Austin to form a mock state government from the ground up in just 6 days. The program has produced a bunch of very, very famous alumni. Boys State produced, President Bill Clinton, who famously shook hands with JFK at Boys Nation. James Gandolfini, Bruce Springsteen, Dick Cheney, Neil Armstrong, Michael Jordan are all alumni of the Boys State program. When I ran for governor of Boys State, I was running in a very white conservative electorate, as being in the racial and political minority.
I come from a very modest family. I'm on the course to be the first one to graduate from high school.
I'm a progressive person, and I'm in a room full of mostly conservative people.
How the hell did I get in, past the primary, past the runoff, and become, a candidate in the general election for it? And I think it's because the message of working with people who I didn't agree with, and talking to them and actually asking them what was on their mind, what issues are affecting you. I may not agree with your positions, or you may not agree with mine, but I think we can both agree that we both want to work together to come with a really good outcome, because we are afraid of what the dangers of not doing that are going to be.
The movie was very inspiring in a lot of ways. I mean, Stephen was inspiring in his role as a candidate, the integrity that he went about his candidacy with, and the honesty, and how down to earth he was, and also just how sharp so many of our young people are today. There was also a lot that was concerning, right? The manipulations behind the scenes, at the end in the campaign, the negativism to try and gain an advantage and to win.
You see in the film that there is racism, thrown at my friend Renee, who was the chair of my party, the Nationalist Party, that there was racist anonymous memes used against him on social media. For the most part, I felt that these people, and you see towards the end of the film, as strangers, were coming up to me from all colors and creeds, to shake my hand, to give me a hug, to tell me that they were very proud. And despite the fact, or in spite of the fact, that I was brown and obviously progressive without saying it, this mostly conservative group sent me to the general election because they believed in my message of being united together.
I was very touched, like I'm sure a lot of viewers were, when Stephen spoke with his mom and talked to her about how he was feeling, and in a very emotional moment. And what resonated with me was just the closeness, and also the respect that he showed for the role that his mom played in him being able to be at that moment in his life. I'm sure, Stephen, like me, you feel extremely grateful for all of the sacrifices that your mom made for you, and probably also see your civic participation, your interest in doing for others, as a way to maybe give back to her and to everybody else.
Safe to say that I don't think, besides the literal fact that none of us would be here without her, figuratively, I think her guiding us as a moral compass and pointing us to true north and making sure that we carry that same sense of empathy and desire for justice for everyone is a guiding principle in my life and always will be. I think if there's one thing that people take away from the film besides the need for unity, is that, man, that kid loved his mom.
I do think that a lot of our young people have the talent and the seriousness of purpose that we need right now in the state of Texas and throughout the country. And if there's hope, it's that this next generation will be one that returns to the idea that government can be something positive that you can use to improve people's lives when you do it right, competently and honestly with integrity.
At the end of the day, I think that we forget that we're all still Americans and that we all still want to give to have a country to give to our kids. And that the gridlock and partisanship and trying to score political points over one another on talk shows and TV shows is not going to work. It's not going to do that. It makes us worse off. And is it really worth the health of our republic to score some points like that? Or can we actually go back and sit down with one another and, despite our differences, work together and get something done for the American people?